Most people have a favorite character in the multiplayer video games they play, but just because you have a main doesn't mean you like everything about them. Today, we're going to watch some duels from the perspective of the Kensei, one of my favorite characters in For Honor. Let's get started. First up, we are going against a Berserker, so this is pitting two of the Season 5 reworked characters up against each other, and I want to say this matchup favors the Berserker a little bit because he has very quick attacks that can knock the Kensei out of a lot of his mix-ups. Hopefully, though, we can use the superior range of our weapon to take advantage of the Berserker's super close range style. For right now, though, he's being very aggressive, spamming attacks, but we managed to get a parry just as he ran out of stamina. That's going to knock him down, and we went on a very relentless retaliatory strike and walked away with the first round victory. But that right there is a perfect example of what makes the Berserker such a difficult class to master. Although it is incredibly satisfying to swing for the fences, there are situations when you want to take a step back, let your stamina regenerate, just survey the battlefield, see what your next option should be. Going into round two, it's going to be interesting to see if there is an adjustment in playstyle. This time, though, we're going trade for trade. The Kensei has hyper armor as well, but we didn't get off nearly as much damage as the Berserker did. He gassed himself out of stamina. This time, though, we're not getting any big catches, except for that top heavy. That attack is very slow. Sometimes slow attacks catch people off guard. And inversely, quick attacks will catch people off guard as well. So the score is going to get tied up. It's 1-1. It looks like we've got a pretty even matchup going on here. But that was truly fascinating. It's always, I think it's refreshing to see somebody clinging to their morals. This guy, he's saying, you know what? I'm a Berserker. I'm aggressive, and I'm not slowing down for anybody. Let's hope that will not put us at a disadvantage. We're going trade for trade again, using that dodge attack to get us into our chain finisher and then following up with a light. And now we've got some momentum. We're using it as best as possible, going trade for trade again, this time with the side heavy. You're going to get the parry on the side heavy from the Berserker and finish him off with the top light. Now this is quite possibly the strangest matchup I've ever seen. The Kensei showing that he is an incredibly adaptable character in the sense that you don't necessarily have to rely on the mind games. You can attempt to trade with people, especially a character like the Berserker that's designed for trading. You can go toe-to-toe, you can go man mode and see what happens. Now, we did see an emote come out from our opponent there, and we may have hit a little bit below the belt, but that's one of the dangers of using emotes mid-combat. You're never really truly safe in a duel situation. And there we go again. We're seeing the trading of the damage, and that's going to give us the victory, but it is a little bit sour because we got a big, heavy attack that felt below the belt. But not to worry. We're going to move on to another round. This time, we're going to have Kensei versus Gladiator. And here we go. The Gladiator is one of the strongest characters in For Honor, but ever since the start of Season 5, a lot of people have been saying that Kensei is right up there with the best of them, so we're going to see if we can prove that or if it will be disproven. Now, we had a wall splat there, which meant we could have gotten a guaranteed top heavy for, I believe, 45 damage, but we opted to go for some light attacks. The mix-ups could have led to more damage, but in the end, I believe we came up short. Either way, things are looking pretty good for us. We've got a health advantage, but that could go away. The Gladiator starting to mix us up with that skewer feinted into a light attack, and that toe stab feels impossible to dodge, even by some of the best players. I see them get caught with that thing all the time, and our guard break is going to come up short. We should have dashed forward to ensure that it connected to get that grasping pounce. We're going to get put in the ground. The score is now 0-1 in favor of the Gladiator. Now, unlike last time, we're going to have to rely a little bit more on our mix-ups because our opponent is not swinging wildly for the fences. Haven't seen too many opportunities for us to trade damage. Going for a dashing attack into the top-heavy unblockable, but that does not have the uninterruptible stance. We landed a successful parry, going for that top light again. We keep mixing that side heavy feint into the top light, and we're really gonna have to mix up that pattern, or we're gonna get parried pretty soon, or at the very least it's just gonna get blocked and it's not gonna net us anything. Gladiator going for a skewer, that is gonna get parried, going into that top heavy unblockable, feinting it into a guard break and evening up the health bars just a little bit. Our opponent still has a slight advantage, but we could change that with a few quick attacks. He's tapped himself out of stamina. Our guard break came up short again. It's unfortunate that I can't teleport into the past and tell myself that I need to use Grasping Pounce because my spacing is a little bit off. Helm Splitter into a side heavy is going to give us the victory. The Gladiator tried to parry. His timing was a little bit off, so he got chopped in the gut. and then stabbed in the back. So we are on the scoreboard, and if we continue playing like this, then we will win the match. But if we don't, then we're going to lose. Hopefully we don't get stabbed in the toes too many times. I imagine the Kensei likes to keep his feet very well kept, and, you know, getting stabbed by a trident, that can't be good for your nail polish. Anyway, we're starting off round number 3, off to a pretty rough start, getting hit by the gladiator zones. That's one of the most difficult moves in the game to predict and defend against, because it comes out at, I believe, 500 milliseconds, and unlike all the other fast zone attacks in the games, this one is a melee attack, so your only defense is a dodge. Now, it's very unfortunate there. We had a good mix-up going, but we didn't have enough stamina, so we misjudged our options a little bit. We should have just gone for the guard break and a side heavy. That may have left us with enough stamina in the end, and we would have gotten a little bit of damage out. We got a successful dodge, could have gone for a swift strike, but opted to stop and land the parry. That put the gladiator out of stamina. We didn't play too many chances with that. We could have gone for a parry on his out of stamina attack, and that would have given us the finish. But we're playing it safe here. Felt like my timing might have been a bit off. And again, the stamina management here is going to be the death of one of us, because we keep just trading places. He goes out of stamina, I go out. He goes out, I go out. And once again, I'm out of stamina. And no fancy tricks are going to put me in the ground. Just a simple poke right in between the eyes. And that's going to give the third round to the gladiator. So, I'm definitely not feeling too happy about that, I imagine. But we've still got a chance to come back. We've got a little bit of wiggle room here, but we do have to win 2 rounds in a row to walk away with the victory. Going for a dashing heavy attack, and we definitely should have followed that up with an uninterruptible side heavy, because that would have been a trade in our favor. It's almost like we've completely forgotten that trading is an option for the Kensei. I'm not being a very good judge of when to use the different aspects of my kit. It's very unfortunate that we made some great decisions against the Berserker, not making some great decisions against the Gladiator. Going for a dodge attack from neutral, never a good idea on any character. On the Kensei, it does have a slightly lesser risk because it is a heavy attack, but still not the best thing in the world to do. But despite the fact that we made a lot of amateur mistakes and poor decisions throughout the course of that round, we did walk away with the victory. Just a few side feints into top lights were enough to give us the victory. So, I don't know. Final round. Let's see if we can make some magic happen here. This is for the entire cake. The whole piece of the pie goes to the victor. We went for a side light, and that got parried, going into a nice little mix-up there with the skewer feinting it into a light attack. We went for a side light a second time, and that got parried as well. A little bit of deja vu going on. Getting hit with the zone attack. Gladiator has a humongous health lead. We're going to have to do something crazy if we want to make a comeback, but we are not managing our stamina very well. We're just about at 0, and then a single light attack. Poke right in the face. I'm going to finish this off. Well, that was a little bit anticlimactic. I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more intense for the final round there, but we're walking away with a defeat, and an uninteresting one at that. With that in mind, though, I think there is something to take away from all of this. Versus the Berserker, we did a great job of using the versatility of the Kensei. We were trading damage, using the uninterruptible finishers to get an advantage over our opponent. Versus the Gladiator, I think we showed some pretty good examples of what not to do, and also of really how much thinking needs to go into playing the Kensei. You really got to pay attention to your stamina, because although the mix-up potential is there, it's incredibly powerful. It drains the character very fast, so you got to keep your eyes on it. So, as always, the name of the game is For Honor. The name of the channel is iBlueAirJGR. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know if you enjoy the Kensei rework. Let me know how you feel about the Berserker rework, or just For Honor in general. The game's been out for a year. Are you still enjoying it? Have you picked it up for the first time, and did you just fall in love with it? Or you could just say hello. That works too. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.